Mr. Mom from the country of Jordan decides to take ghost hunting to the next level and installs a camera in an abandoned house. This is where the Abla is said to haunt, which means crazy older sister. It isn't long before the scary woman is caught on camera doing some really weird things. It looks like it could just be a lone hermit, but then the chair starts scraping along beside her, moving all by itself, or so it seems. Something tells me that it's tied around to a string around her foot. Now that I've said something, I bet you'll notice the object only moves when she does. Somebody's watching you. Posted to Instagram by Henry Cavill. This clip is seemingly just a simple, albeit incredible instructional video in which Superman actor Henry Cavill puts together a gaming PC. But not everything is as it seems. As Henry pieces this monster together, sharing his expertise, the project turns into an all-day event and darkness falls outside. That's when you see this eerie face in the window. In the comments, memes like one points it out to Henry, writing, "There is a creepy face behind the window. What is that?" Well, Cavill has no answer. Miss Nightmare does, suggesting it might be a ghost or a lurker. Well, Danny Maiden thinks it's a Joker painting. What do you think it is? Just an altogether eerie reflection? Or is something or someone lurking on Henry? What would you do if someone was stalking you? That's a decision YouTuber Near Shadows had to make while on the scariest randonautica of their lives. At this site, they come across a golden box amongst some trees and brush.
What is it? No way.
It's too cold for all this.
Come grab this.
I got gloves.
What is this?
When they lift it, they see it's bound with tape and fishing line.
Babe, it's like a weird box that's binded up.
I kind of see.
It has fishing line on it.
It has fishing.
Look at.
I don't want to. Oh.
Look at this.
Oh my God.
You guys see that?
They examine it and discover something shocking.
Whoa.
What?
This says 50th anniversary on it.
50th anniversary.
Look, 50th anniversary. Not kidding.
Oh wow. What does that mean?
Not kidding. The art.
When they open it up, this is what they find.
We're gonna get into this. What the heck? It's a balloon. It's a balloon that has like 61, 16.
Balloons.
It sounds like there's rocks or something.
Like there's rocks or pebbles under there, yo.
What the heck?
With something inside them.
Do you feel anything in that one?
Yeah.
That one doesn't sell. That one sells empty.
There's little pieces of something in it.
Let me see.
Like, it almost sounds like, it almost feels like bullets or something. It's kind of weird.
And this clue?
It's a piece of paper. 6th Street. It's like a ripped up portion of a map. And it says 6th Street. Babe, we're on 6th Street.
When they open the balloon, they uncover a mystery.
What is that? It's a little bead, and it has the number 2 on it.
What do these numbers mean?
Good close-up. Pause this and...
They then notice some people watching them.
Who's this person walking over
God,
here?
are they coming over here?
Come on, guys. Some freaking...
Please don't come over here.
Oh...
But they realize they're probably not here for them.
What was that?
I'm not touching it. Could be drugs in this neighborhood.
They open up the second balloon.
Oh,
Sure, they're beads.
these are big beads.
That's what she said.
Would you? Oh no! Dropped the bead.
The letters must mean something too, but what?
AZS.
Near Shadows continues to follow this mystery of a missing persons case in their next video. I'm curious as to what these clues mean. I assume the girl who went missing was 16, judging by the balloon, and this is the 50th anniversary since she went missing. But as to the numbers and letters, I guess we'll have to wait for the series' next installment. This creepy and unexplained video has been unsettling people since 2016. It starts with a man who looks like he is just goofing around at first by making a weird voice and singing loudly. His mannerisms become more bizarre and aggressive, until finally he is shrieking like a wild animal and destroying the whole room. When he regains his composure and lowers the blinds, you can see that he is standing in the middle of a children's room. There's no sounds of a child though, which makes me wonder if there ever was one to begin with, or if it's been somehow silenced. Now you see it, now you don't. Published in December of 2017. This video begins with a man speaking Arabic. No translation or subtitles are included, so we can't tell you what he's talking about as he stands outside what appears to be a normal door with an elaborate gold door frame. Over a minute into the video, he opens the door to what appears to be a normal dining room. Speaking the whole while, he enters the room and shuts the door, giving a tour of the room which is empty. He tries opening another door on one side of the room, but it's locked tight, so he enters further in what appears to be a living room. There are toys inside, a car with a doll in it, but nothing appears to be out of the ordinary. That is, until he turns to film the other side of the room and pans back to the car. No more doll. He doesn't seem to panic, and it's hard to tell if he even noticed. He continues to wander around the room. While nothing more disturbing appears to happen in the duration of the video, the man must have experienced something frightening towards the end. As fear is heard in his voice, his camera drops and he rushes out of there. What was happening in this room? I don't know if I want to know. This home in Bethel, Washington, has been overtaken by an evil force that refuses to go away. Paranormal experts from all over the world have been baffled by their findings, like this team for example. First, motion sensors repeatedly detect movement in areas where nothing is visible to the eye. What's especially weird is how the tripwires stop beeping whenever the investigators are near. Grunts, growls, and strange laughter echo throughout the house as well. Here's an example of the same laugh caught on multiple cameras.
You maybe direct it a little bit better.
No. You mean correct us what?
All of the noises sound like they are the right distance away in each shot, so this is probably real. An angry poltergeist haunting this room is throwing things off the shelf.
Hey! Allah Akbar, Allah. Ini rumah aku, kalau kau nak buat macam ni, kau yang aku takut. Kau yang aku takut. Allah Akbar. Allah.
But unfortunately for Arash Afnan, the paranormal activity does not end there.
Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
Looking straight at him is a mysterious figure standing in the kitchen. A shadow figure that is clearly in the shape of a person.
Allah. Look.
But when he chases it into the kitchen, it's gone and the drawer where it was just standing opens all by itself. Now that's just terrifying. A YouTuber named Chastity Pineda TV has a haunted basement. As this paranormal video shows, her camera detects motion at 2:52 a.m., but she can't see anything, only the sound of ghost footsteps. And 8 minutes later is when this 3 a.m. paranormal experience is archived for her to look at later. She puts the camera in a different spot, and on another night, 11:45 to be precise, she catches the swing in motion with all of the lights on, and at 2:20 the next afternoon, the swing is moving on its own and something new happens. Listen again. Did you hear the creepy kid's voice when the stick falls? That's an old walking stick they're interacting with, by the way. Perhaps this object is what's causing these events. Bell Tower Bat lives in a haunted hotel that's built upon a series of tunnels that are haunted as well. So she decides to go ghost hunting with the TikTok app and see what reality ripple shows her. The first thing she notices are a couple antique bottles that seem to have a ghost attached to them. It's an all-black aura that is far different from the psychedelic colors that are usually displayed. Now it's time to leave her room and see what else her ghost hunting app has to show her. She doesn't see anything for the rest of the video until she gets to the very last haunted hallway. A ghostly shadow figure looks at her down the hall and sends her the other way. The reality ripple is still on, so if this was a living person, it should be an orange or purple color. Instead, the shadow person is devoid of color, so either this video was edited, or else it's a real ghost sighting on TikTok. A YouTuber named Spunkflunk recorded this video with the innocent intention of asking people to follow him on Google+. Little did he realize the paranormal moment that he accidentally caught while filming the video. If you look at the doll on the bed at the 29-second mark, you will clearly see that the doll moves its hand to the side and then back down.
Click add to circles and then just click following. That'd be awesome. It'll only take like a few seconds and that'll get me to 1,000 followers.
The fact that it moves its hand back down makes me think this video was not done by a string. In addition, most of his recent videos have nothing to do with the paranormal. What do you think caused this bizarre moment? While investigating the haunted Bel Air house, Sunny finds that the stories are true. Sunny's experience there gets off to a rocky start. The crew starts to sense things and hear things.
Oh my.
What?
Oh man, Sonny was coming up.
You cheating? Why you got your light on?
I was trying to come down the steps.
You got your light on too. Y'all up here like a bunch of just turn your light off.
My light is off, man. Okay.
And then footsteps.
Came over here. Listen. Sounded like footsteps, but I think maybe picking up Chris's.
But do they belong to his crew? Or is someone unseen closer than he thinks? Either way, I think it's time to find the exit of this place. A Russian YouTuber plays Russian roulette with poltergeists in this paranormal footage. Published to YouTube by Dark Ghost in March of 2021. This poltergeist activity was captured by cameras installed in the haunted home, as well as cameras operated by the ghost hunter who was brave enough to enter. The first instance of paranormal activity comes when a camera that he installed in one room captures a cupboard being moved on its own. It scrapes across the floor and comes to a halt in the middle of the room. And after hearing the noise, the ghost hunter enters to see for himself. The room appears empty, but he soon realizes it's not. An entire wardrobe nearly falls directly on him. There is no space behind the wardrobe for someone to have stood and pushed it over. So what caused this heavy furniture to fall? In a state of shock, having barely escaped with his life, the ghost hunter sets up his spirit box to talk with the spirit. It asks him clear as day who he is and why he's here. The spirit tells him that it is dangerous. When he asks what is, she says his occupation. The spirit tells him that the souls of the passed away have heard him. She also notes that they're not all good ones. After a while, she refuses to answer any more questions. When the ghost hunter returns to the room where the cupboard moved and the wardrobe nearly took his life, everything has returned to its place. As he settles in for the night, somehow catching some shut-eye while stretched out on wooden chairs, a spot of light bursts above him, and he springs to his feet. He said that at that point he felt a bitter cold. Once you've nearly had your life taken and feel the temperature drop, it's probably time to pack it in and call it a night. Sometimes you come across video footage on YouTube that just gives you a strange, unsettling feeling in the pit of your stomach, despite appearing relatively harmless. This clip is one of those types. Abner H7 posted the video titled Movo10 to Reddit. The clip begins with an emergency warning sound and reads, "Please hold, playback will begin." A dark screen appears to show the woods at night. The phrase "Hollow was alive" flashes scratchily on the screen for a moment, leaving viewers to wonder what that hollow lie is. The walk through the dark forest starts to morph into an unsettling funhouse mirror. The leaves on the ground sway and distort. Another phrase flashes across the screen reading, "They are making it real. Who are they? What is being made real? We are left to guess." Continued shots of the leaves, branches, and grass in the darkness are replaced, suddenly by a shot of the moon. Then one more message appears, "Help us." The clip then ends with another high-pitched sound, an official message indicating the playback is complete. What does this creepy clip mean? And why is this YouTube channel full of them? When you hear footsteps approaching your room, you'd better lock the door. Posted by Eli Walt KG to the Ghosts subreddit. This clip captures something invisible entering the Redditor's room. Turn up the volume and you can indeed hear footsteps as Eli films the door of his bedroom. Then quietly the door creeps open. While most can agree this would make a normal person freeze, some commend the Redditor's bravery, while others, like Redditor B565656 warn him, "Have you learned nothing from horror movies? You don't walk towards the sound in the dark. Totally, who knows what's lurking in the darkness beyond that door?" Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Kane Sweet 2000. This Redditor wrote, "Hi all, we moved into a council house since January, and we had some very strange things happening. We have a vintage radio and it has been making some strange noises. The weird thing is there isn't any batteries inside it. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about."
Fish?
What's that?
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Lechiflada wrote, "That's really strange." Well, GameCat UK wrote, "Where is the radio in the video? Do you have a picture? I have a feeling it's a rare example of an old semiconductor picking up on local radio waves, though the amplification is baffling. I think the radio is that thing in the bottom left corner at the 5-second mark. Which side are you on here? Let me know in the comments." Jal Bundy has caught some weird things on camera while exploring the forest outside of his village late at night.
আস্তে 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 কেরে কেরে ওখানে কেরে দেখুন 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 দেখুন
In front of them is the white outline of a phantom apparition that for some reason stands out against a backdrop of total darkness. When they rush towards the apparition, you can see it shrinks into a small ball of paranormal energy and disappears around the tree. Is this strange ball of light edited or really paranormal is what I want to know. I feel like this video could be real because it's late at night. They sound scared and those woods look scary too. Freaky, right? A ghost has no use for a haircut, but apparently that doesn't stop one from haunting a famous barber shop called GQ Cuts in La Puente, California. Caught on security cam is a ghostly guest slipping under a blue gown.
Like that just move. Like that just move. I'm not gonna bring up. That right there just move.
Everyone, even the woman getting her hair cut, is nervously looking at the chair, waiting for it to move again, which it doesn't. But hold on, nobody sees the scariest moment of all on the shelf above them.
That just move. Like that just move. Like that just move. I'm not gonna bring up.
A creepy mannequin head turns towards him while he tries to tell everyone what he saw. Thankfully, the moving objects were caught on tape to prove him right. Then again, it could be this fan on full speed that's blowing objects around. Green Gables is the name of a fine dining restaurant in Jennerstown, Pennsylvania. The 100-year-old building is said to be haunted to the point where one worker would start recording with their phone whenever they felt something was wrong, and one night they were right.
And I don't know, something doesn't feel right about this place. Like it's I can't even describe what it feels like right now. Like this is just what is that? Nope, 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 nope.
A shadowy hand definitely just extended across the waist of the statue in my opinion. It doesn't look like a trick of the light or anything like that. These creepy situations are exactly what this century-old haunted estate is known for, so I think it's real. Oh, and one more thing that's weird. Shortly before noping out of there, the employee notices a deep slice across the length of its stone throat. Is this another paranormal sign, or just normal wear and tear? When you experience regular poltergeist activity in your home, monitoring it becomes top priority. YouTuber Donnie Drunkard shares this VR 360 video from a GoPro Max of his home's demonic activity. You can hear faint knocks or footsteps repeatedly. More unexplained sounds unfold.
Well,
Not long after, there's a major smashing noise, followed by REM pod activity. You can also hear faint voices at this point, maybe from a TV turning on. Not long after, this happens. And again, it sounds like the TV has been turned on or someone is speaking. The voice comes and goes throughout the remainder of the clip, but turning 360, you can't see anything on. And lastly, the spirits play a short tune. This video is particularly unsettling to me because you can see all four corners of the room at any time, so you know nobody is pulling the strings. I'm convinced that Donnie's house is haunted, and considering the noises, the demon doesn't sound friendly. Sometimes paranormal explorations turn up horrific discoveries. YouTuber Mo Sargi uncovered several in this abandoned hospital. While walking through the hospital's hallways, he comes across defunct tech and discarded medical supplies.
The younger people that watch my videos, which is a small percentage, yeah, this is what we would watch and open up applications and stuff. It's pretty cool. Oh, ew, we got blood covered gloves over here. This is disgusting.
This room looks like it's been staged by someone before Mo.
We got blood everywhere. Holy sh. Jeez. Okay, I don't want to be in this room. That's gross.
On the wall in red is the word leave. Then in the next room...
Is that a body bag? No, that's not a body bag. I thought that was a body bag for a sec. Jesus Christ. No, that's just a mattress. It's so strange though. It's got like these pipes coming down from it.
He breaks out the UV light to check out the fluids on this hospital bed.
So, as you guys can see, I do have my UV light over here, and this is all blood. Holy sh**. There's blood everywhere in this room, man. This is unbelievable. I did not expect this. I don't know why there's so much blood here, but look at it. Look at how it illuminates.
Well, we can't be sure that this is that red liquid of life. This place is by far one of the creepiest abandoned places I've ever seen.
Watch how this ghost is working out. It's moving by itself, just like somebody's sitting there.
This outdoor workout station is moving all by itself, or so it seems. I think someone could be moving it with wires off camera. At the beginning he shows this zoomed in shot, but it's vertical so there's plenty we can't see. I'm not saying this video isn't real, I'm just saying I would be more convinced if he showed the entire street to prove that no one else was around. This father and son paranormal team is about to check into a haunted hotel. Published by Paranormal Boys in December of 2021. When they first enter, they find everything in disarray. They sit down around the table, and it sounds like something has joined them. As they're using their paranormal devices, they hear a strange breathing sound, and then another unexplained noise.
Oh, did you hear that? No?
Has someone taken a room at this haunted hotel? If so, they may never leave. On February 5th, 2002, Robert Pickton was taken into custody by a Vancouver police task force who had found personal items on his pig farm from a woman who had disappeared. There were no other clues aside from the missing belongings, such as a prescription inhaler and other items. In other words, enough evidence to hold him, but not enough for a solid conviction. Prosecutors needed more evidence, so on February 23, 2002, they sent one of their best undercover officers to pose as an inmate to try to get Robert to confess his actions. Robert hadn't had a friend in a long time and was more than willing to swap stories with what he thought was a fellow like-minded psycho. What he revealed was absolutely horrifying. The undercover officer leads the conversation by saying the ocean is the best way to get rid of the passed away. Roberts is quick to correct him.
I found the best way to dispose of something. Taking the ocean. It ain't good for that.
With CCTV cameras rolling overhead, the undercover officer gets Robert Pickton to admit something he had not said to the detective in years. The reason they weren't able to find any of the passed away was because he had put them through meat processing equipment and most likely fed them to his pigs. When the undercover agent tries to get him to say more about what he's done, Robert gives us a glimpse into what a person like him thinks of the people whose lives he's taken. What's most terrifying of all about this is how they were nothing more to him than a number. He sees no individuality, nothing to make them human or set them apart. They are all the same to him, a number that he wants to make even for his own selfish satisfaction. Robert Pickton might have gotten away with all 50 acts if not for the self-incriminating testimony which was used against him. On December 11th, 2007, he was sentenced to life behind bars. He decided not to make a statement upon being sentenced. I guess he felt like he had already said enough. While exploring this haunted place, this paranormal crew discovers that entities manifest in the mirrors. Published by Albert of the Arch, they search the home when they spy this. While the white object looks spooky at first, hanging there in the hallway when they approach, they find it's a piece of paper posted on a door. As they continue their search and discover a door to an attic above moving on its own.
Ok. Bueno, pero eso puede ser el viento. Está en un exterior, entonces se cuela el aire con eso.
Later, while they're all in one room, a shadow passes by a mirror in the adjacent room. No one is there. They don't know what to make of it.
Pues sabes que uno de los implementos que me gusta muchísimo para este tipo de lugares, que me gusta muchísimo para este tipo de, que me gusta muchísimo para este tipo de, muchísimo para este tipo.
Not long after, while they're speaking over a statue of Jesus, a faint scream is heard in the background. Is that scream coming from the entity in the mirror? Sounds like it wants out.
Cuando estas energías vienen a la luz, ya no pueden salir. Se hace como una especie de lugar que los bloquease, ¿sabes?
People go disappearing all of the time, but rarely are such strange events like this one caught on camera. A man in a library is calmly reading when he looks up and spontaneously vanishes. This looks like it has to be special effects, except this unexplained video also has an equally unexplained background. Multiple comments agree that there was once a longer version of this video from years ago that was mysteriously taken offline. In this longer version, this man's face is supposedly uncensored. Whoever this is could have contacted the police over privacy concerns. If so, as fake as this video looks, a longer version without blurred faces could mean this video is real. How close can you get to a witch without her possessing you? YouTuber Chamos shares this video of a night he'll never forget. As they approach this remote home at night, they see something.
Onde? Bota a luz na casa, pô, direita. Aqui. Na casa, homem. Ó, meu Deus, ela, Chamos. O quê? Cara. É ela, velho. Deixa eu ver. Ô, velho, tem uma sombra lá, velho. Espera aí, tá aqui a câmera, tá aqui.
For some reason, Chamos and his partner get out of the vehicle and approach the creature, before they quickly realize they don't want to get any closer.
Ela tá brilhando, é ela, cara. Cara. Oi! Pelo amor de Deus, velho! Chamos! Sai daí! Ó, Chamos! Chamos, não vai, Chamos! Ei!
But they realize they don't want to get any closer, and after zooming in, you can see why. I don't know if that's a witch, but I wouldn't want to get close enough to find out. On the way out of the forest, they spot the creature again. What is this thing? Witch or not, nothing human has this eye shine, so I am sure it's something to fear. Published by LANH TV New in March of 2022, and originally published by Knob Team Explore. This scary video reveals that the real haunting happens just out of sight. As the cameraman walks us through an abandoned structure, he rounds a corner, where two bright lights are spotted blinking in the dark distance of the surrounding forest. What are they? He whistles and walks toward them. But before we can get to the bottom of that mystery, Something starts rattling off to the left. The cameraman turns in the sound's direction, and he starts to approach the rattling. Rounding another corner, he finds that this door is the culprit. He calls out and then runs away.
Assalamualaikum.
Turning around, he captures this hanging from the rafters. It appears to be a small pair of legs. The rest of the figure's body remains out of sight. When he turns around and casts the camera back, the figure is no longer there. What is this horror? Something that's gonna stay with me for a long time, that's for sure. This video shows you never know what you might encounter next in the desert. Haley Steele was at Burning Man 2012 in Black Rock City, Nevada, when a massive dust devil formed right in front of her very eyes.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, that kid's gonna ride right through it.
Amazingly, you can see someone casually riding their bike as the massive cloud of dust surrounds him. If this was happening in front of me, I'd be hightailing it out of there. The last thing I want is dust in my eyes, ears, and nose. Dennis of Dark Life is about to encounter an aggressive poltergeist in the house of the witch. His cameras capture everything too. First, something starts messing with the cupboard. The demon then grows a bit more aggressive. He seems to be toying with Dennis. Dennis asks many questions of the spirit, and the spirit responds.
Вас она убила? Она сейчас здесь?
When he asks if the spirit needs help, it answers,
Я могу вам чем-нибудь помочь?
Нет.
It seems to be following him.
Это вы? Вы сейчас издаете этот звук?
And the knocking gets louder.
Нет.
Again, the spirit reiterates that no one can help him.
Вам кто-нибудь может помочь?
Нет.
And finally, Dennis decides that he's in danger and should leave.
Не боюсь, грозит опасность. Да. Искал опасность. Ерунда. В общем, все, друзья, я сейчас собираюсь, возвращаюсь позже, когда уже уйдут.
It's clear that this malevolent spirit is taking no prisoners. If I were Dennis, I'd get out of there too. Two fishermen cast their reels into the Gulf of Mexico without a care in the world. 20 minutes later, they only have one care in the world: getting out alive. The pair finds themselves caught in the middle of a giant storm system gathering overhead. Going backwards means traveling in the same direction as the storm, so the only thing left to do is charge deeper into the storm and hope to come out the other side in one piece. The storm hasn't even begun yet, and you can see the waves are almost coming into the boat already. They need to hurry if they ever want to see dry land again. The storm gets worse and worse until they can barely tell the sky apart from the sea. Everything is just a big swirling mass of gray with absolutely no visibility. except for the occasional crack of lightning to illuminate their path for a few precious seconds at a time. If things get any worse, their tiny boat will surely capsize under the crushing waves. Finally, after an hour of riding, they emerge from the traveling storm and return to blue skies. You can tell that they are truly safe because they can stand fully upright again. Okay, think of this scary video as a what would you do type situation. A woman named Letitia Patterson is walking back to her car when a strange man who is acting beyond creepy in my opinion begins to follow her. She lets him know that he's caught on camera, and the video gets more outrageous from there.
Hold on, I'm about to record you because if something happened to me, they gonna have you on camera.
That's right.
Somebody come get their family member.
That's right.
Following me.
I think capturing his weird behavior on tape is the right move, but showing him where she parked is not the safest decision. She could have walked away to get help, but I guess she felt like she was going to take control of the scary moment, and so she overcomes her fears and confronts the stranger, getting more bizarre video on camera for us to analyze.
Yep, bye. You're not getting in my car.
The strange man attempts to get her to laugh it off, playing off his aggression as harmless flirting, but he is not respecting her boundaries, which to me is beyond creepy, and a major warning sign that she should get away fast. He follows around her car for a bit, and then he's standing by her door, when the creepy encounter takes another bizarre turn.
I don't even know you.
Hey, delete that camera. I'll grab that phone from you. Break.
Look.
Take that on camera, please.
Well, can you get away from my car?
Yeah, but delete that recording.
I'll delete it as soon as I see you start walking that way.
But the mysterious man walks towards her instead, closer than ever as you can see at 1 minute and 27 seconds, and she realizes by now that he isn't going away, and that this scary moment could escalate if she doesn't get help.
Hey, y'all call 911. This guy just followed me around the store.
I think asking a stranger to call 911 was the right decision, because he could have taken the phone out of her hands if she stopped recording him. The camera is a good deterrent, and also she needs to continue to record evidence. Police investigators haven't found him yet as far as I know, but check this part out. I think he says his name here at 7 seconds. She's talking at the same time, but tell me if you can understand what he says.
They gonna have you on camera. Somebody come get their family member.
At least one other woman claims to have had a similar creepy experience with a scary stranger, so the evidence seems to suggest that he could be terrifying people just for fun. Freaky, right? This intriguing unidentified flying object sighting was captured on a windy night in Spain in 2009. A full moon is looming overhead. Watch to the left of it.
You know, it's kind of funny. You see it like a little shadow over there on the like the left side of there, and oh, around that. I don't know. I really can't tell.
A strange light formation appears. At first, the lights are in disarray.
Wait a minute. Look at holy shit, look at that. Look at the shape. Oh my god. Wow, that's cool. Looks that, yeah. Look at it. It's covered right.
But then they form a triangle.
They look at it. People see. What that is? Wow. It's a binding from the reason that.
Many in the comments are astonished and are wondering if this is for real. What do you think? This CCTV footage comes from the London Dungeon, a famous tourist attraction in England that's rumored to be haunted. An employee is tending to their duties in the laundry room all alone. When they go to open the door to the washing machine, a hand reaches out and makes a grab at them. Weirder still is how the camera switches to static merely moments before this happens. Since technological malfunctions can often indicate the presence of the paranormal, and also given the location, I think this strange video could definitely be real, and if so, it's something that this employee will never be able to unsee. You often capture more than you bargained for on social media streams. Posted in July of 2019, this video shows a man wandering around an apparently abandoned apartment in the darkness. He seems to be praying. as he shoots video of some window-type compartment up in the right-hand corner of one of the rooms. You can see some stranger peeking through. The man continues to pray, and then suddenly screams in fear as he turns to capture something moving more aggressively in a huge box to his right as he races to get out of there. The door slams behind him. Even outside, he is not safe. He continues to pray while filming the exterior of the home. One of the window shutters up above opens and closes several times. Seems like this home needs more than prayer. It needs an exorcism. The zombie road in Missouri is purportedly haunted, and YouTube Team Soul Searching is investigating it themselves. As they start on the trail, they receive a message from the beyond.
I know that's kind of weird that it said seeds, because that's usually my thing. I bring seeds.
It's asking for seeds, and we don't have them. It's gonna be.
I know, because I switched from my camera bag too.
The YouTuber leaves her camera on while walking, and the audio captures this.
A cannon from the Civil War. Yeah. There's Civil War goes down this room.
That really did sound like a cannon to me. Later, they capture an EVP on their digital recorder.
That box, that white noise. Can you tell us your name?
He's trying, but the Faraday can't.
Can you tell it? Can you tell it? Can you tell?
They believe it sounds like I am here, but I'm not sure if I hear that. However, it does sound to me like a whisper. As they continue, another unexplained noise is captured.
You have to look into the control.
And if I'm in the area with them. And if I'm in the area with them. And if I'm in the area with them.
This voice that they hear sounds rather mechanical. Could it simply be the sound of one of their devices? Well, I can't say for sure that Zombie Road is haunted based on these findings. The ghostly cannon strikes me as a true Civil War curse. There's an older man who's looking out the window at Jacob Hessler and his friend, and it's freaking them out how he keeps leaving the spot and coming back to stare some more.
He's looking over. He's looking over. And now he walks away.
Some people suggest that the old man is simply looking at them because they were looking at him, and that they should just leave him alone. But this scenario still requires the old man to look out of his window in the middle of the night to notice they were there in the first place, which is odd. Maybe they were being loud or something, but the way they keep their voices low makes me think they were probably being quiet the whole time. So as it stands, this is a mysterious exchange without words and without explanation. YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to face off with some dark magic. As they're wandering in the darkness, they hear this witch's cries.
Soy... ¡Ah, la verga! Escucha, voy loco. O si se escuchó. ¡Ah, la verga, negro! ¡Ah, la verga! ¡Ah, la verga!
When they come upon this structure, they hear her again.
¿Ya te echaste? ¿Qué pedo, loco? Dime más para acá. Hazte para acá. Hazte para acá. Espérate, güey. ¿Es que dónde fue?
And then she appears.
De que hay algo paranormal aquí, hay algo paranormal. Sí,
pero no es bueno. ¡A la verga! ¡No mames, güey!
At first, they keep their distance.
Güero. Alumbren allá, güey. Allá está.
Alumbren.
But even from a distance, it seems she's not having it.
Ey, no mames, Fósil, ayúdalo, güey. Fósil, verga. Y yo traigo las cámaras, güey. Amarra aquí. Ey, espérate, loco. Eder.
They again see her in the darkness.
Se está convirtiendo en quién sabe qué verga, güey. Vámonos. Ah, no mames, güey. Vámonos.
After which, she flees into the night.
Allá arriba, idiota, arriba. A la verga, güey.
Why did she take off? I think she got what she came for. Eder's soul. A YouTuber named Exploring with Perks is checking out an old abandoned home with one of the creepiest basements he has ever seen. Possible remains rest outside of an old hole in the wall, with the rest of the body possibly on the other side. And later on, he finds the remnants of what I hope is just a stuffed animal. Then he gets out fast. I can't say I blame him. Some videos on the internet can haunt you. February 20th, 2003, Station Nightclub, a Great White concert. The headliner takes the stage seconds after they open with their Billboard hit Desert Moon. Pyrotechnics are launched by the tour manager as part of the spectacle. Little does he know that the acoustic foam located in the ceilings and walls around the stage will soon go ablaze. Most initially believed it was part of the show, but soon the crowd began to understand that this was not a controlled incident. The band's lead vocalist, Jack Russell, said into the microphone, "Wow, that's not good." Before some of the band and their entourage fled the stage via the west exit, a stampede towards the main exit resulted in a bottleneck and trampling. Cameraman Brian Butler for WPRI-TV of Providence was there that night filming for a piece on nightclub safety. Some of his footage was released to national news stations. If you're wondering if you can stomach the footage, take notes from Redditor Buffalady87, who writes, "The worst part is in the beginning there's so much screaming. Then as people are running outside you realize it's actually pretty quiet. Not because people calm down, but because you are actually listening to the people still inside." This soccer match appears to be interrupted by a creature from another dimension. One team is about to go for a penalty kick when a strange white figure literally runs through everyone in the crowd without slowing down.
Se viene el tiro libre. Attenzione. Era Ferreira, lo dejarán. Ferreira, creo, eh?
I heard that this kind of effect could be a camera malfunction, but since everyone on the field is standing still, then I don't understand how this kind of glitch can happen. If someone has an explanation for this situation, then please let me know, because this definitely looks like it could be some sort of transparent creature to me. Driving in the Himalayas can be beautiful, unless you're opposite an angry driver. Published by Extreme Out in July of 2016, this driver was descending the dangerous Rotang Pass from Manali to Leh when he crossed paths with a heavy truck moving in the opposite direction. The driver notes that everyone should be patient in such conditions, because impatience can lead to lives lost. They didn't find patience in this truck driver though. The man writes that he dipped his lights on the narrow mountain road to indicate that the truck and car ahead should stop and let him pass if they had a wider road. The truck did not signal back, but the car indicated that there was space to cross and so he should move forward. After moving to the side, the car passes easily, but the truck is taking its time, which is understandable as you can see how bumpy the terrain is. However, it became clear that the truck driver apparently wasn't going to pass at all. After sitting for a moment, the uploader starts to reverse to give the truck a wider berth, and instead the truck drives right at him. He raises his hand for the truck driver to stop and then continues to back up on the dangerous road, which he notes is not easy. Again, instead of passing, the truck is directed at him. The game continues for a time until finally the truck passes. They stopped him to argue, wondering why he acted the way he did. Was it a threat out of spite? Or did he really not have room to pass? From this angle, we will never know. These British YouTubers are having a look around an old synagogue that hasn't been used in ages. The space is well lit and soon they stumble upon a ladder leading to a much darker attic area. One of them bravely climbs along the wooden rafters and goes much farther out than the rest. Everything is going fine until he makes the mistake of stepping on the much weaker fluffy white insulation.
It's just what?
He just barely catches himself and now hangs suspended from the ceiling, too stunned to scream. His upper half still in the attic and his bottom half dangling in the air. Look down the hole and you can see he's at a dizzying height. If he hadn't quickly grabbed onto the rafters for support, there would be nothing to keep him from free falling to the bottom.
Freaking myself out. Go away.
A Reddit poster named Drexana13 catches an invisible watcher using nothing other than the face detection software of her Snapchat filter. She says she could feel someone breathing on her, and this does seem likely because more than once, the spirit gets as close as it can to her. And it's practically right on top of her as she backs into the elevator.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I think I get you.
But is it really a teleporting apparition? Or is Snapchat mistaking the dark circular areas between these lights as eyes? I think it's up for debate, but this Redditor seems to have made up her mind. Oh, and one last thing. It may have climbed into the elevator with her. There's a white light here. That might be the reflection of her phone screen, but the movements don't quite match. So what do you think it is? A YouTube channel called Good Cemeteries Gone Bad captures this scraggly sighting in broad daylight while investigating the Anclote Cemetery in Florida. They wanted to know if this was a spider web or a spirit, and I know that different spiders make different looking webs, but I have to say this looks like no spider web that I have ever seen before around where I live. Plus, look at the way it simply disappears upon hitting the light. That's not normal. So if you live in Florida, please let us know if this looks like any of the webs in your area, because I'm inclined to say that this is the paranormal at work. It's a little past 3 a.m. when Braden Lee hears objects falling over and strange noises coming from within the wall. The situation sounds like it could be paranormal until he turns the lights on and sees this small but scary creature perched in the corner of the room. Now it's time for his dad to get the creature out of his home and into the night. The bat has been flying everywhere, and he only has a few moments to act before it goes airborne again, so he has no choice but to put on some gloves and catch the creature, and it's all caught on tape to make for a scary 3 a.m. video indeed. He lets out a terrified scream and fumbles the bat before recovering and taking it outside. I'm glad that everyone is alright, and that it didn't land on his face or anything, because it definitely would have defended itself, and there's no telling where that creature has been or what it has.
Oh my god. Oh, it's good. Trace, am I a hero or what?
This thirsty ghost is gonna drink your Coke. A YouTuber was telling a story to his viewers when the real story was going on behind him. Watch the soda can over his shoulder.
But, it's definitely something creepy, so let's go ahead and zoom in on this jank. But this guy was the type of guy. Alright, there you have.
While the YouTuber thinks the soda could have been pulled by his camera cord, I think there might be another logical explanation.
But there's only one cord, and it's my camera cord. And, you know, I thought maybe my camera cord, my webcam cord might have pulled it.
My thoughts are that condensation formed beneath the soda can, causing it to move across the slick surface of the desk. So what do you think? A thirsty ghost or science? I'm still wondering if it was condensation. Published by Tim Morozov in December of 2021, the paranormal investigator enters the most haunted of houses and encounters one of the most dangerous level 5 poltergeists he's ever faced off with. In the video, Tim draws a circle in chalk on the floor in the living room. Cameras are set up all around. He asks the spirits in the home to move things. After a time, something triggers one of his paranormal devices. The thermal imaging camera shows a great white orb floating in the vicinity. The orb passes by him where it hovers over the Ouija board. planchette starts to spaz out all over the board. It doesn't seem to be spelling anything, it's just going berserk. The light then floats out of frame. After this, several items in the room float into the air. The light reappears and then seems to brush past Tim, knocking him to the floor. It comes back and knocks him again. Is this the most aggressive poltergeist you've ever seen? Tim left with his life this time, but next time he might not be so lucky. Jada Blaze has accidentally caught something mysterious while taping a house in Denver, Colorado that she now suspects is haunted. Take a look at what she claims is a real ghost sighting caught on video.
Okay, here is the finished product. Here's his shirt.
Here's this phone.
Something strange can be seen floating over her shoulder, and then whatever it is mysteriously disappears. The unexplained footage seems to show an object rapidly disappearing and reappearing in many different places at once, totally defying the laws of physics but not those of the paranormal. The creepy sighting was a ghost figure to her, and I wanted to know what this bizarre moment was to you. If you were thinking this was a dust particle, think again. The house just received a deep cleaning and is completely dust-free. That means it's either special effects or something supernatural. Help me decide which. This video is believed to have happened sometime in 2001. A person is walking around what looks like to be an old basement when they think they notice something on the floor.
What the hell's that? That on the floor. Right there.
The footage is too grainy to see, but I think he may have been looking at a shoe, or even the top of someone's head coming out from just behind the door. Suddenly, he looks up and sees some sort of white apparition glaring back at him with lifeless glowing eyes. I guess that it could just be someone who is dressed up, but there's something about his reaction that seems genuine. As the name of his YouTube channel would suggest, Abroad in Japan provides helpful advice meant for anyone planning an extended stay in the country of Japan. Chris has lived there for over 7 years, and most of his videos deal with common topics, such as cultural differences and spending tips. 2 videos in particular, however, chronicle his experiences with Japan's supernatural. October 16th, 2018 is when Chris bikes with his friend Joey in search of an eerily abandoned tunnel that's rumored to be haunted. They don't know much about its history, but one look at how narrow it is, and it's hard to imagine a car squeezing through. The tunnel was apparently abandoned after too many lives were ended by unsafe driving. Now it lies on the side of the mountain, becoming more overgrown with each day. The first thing they notice is this strange human-like imprint on the wall, perhaps the spirit of someone who lost their life here. It's looking up towards the sky, and pale skin. Even the flowing sleeves of her dress are visible. It creeps them out and makes them want to get this over with so they can leave. As they are contemplating what all of this means, their camera records even more evidence that something is nearby. It's a soft voice whispering something in Japanese. Tell me if you can understand. I think it's real because the voice echoes off the tunnel walls. The exit is only a short distance away, so there's no big dramatic dash to safety or anything like that. They are suitably freaked out by now, and when they go to leave, this mysterious third person, shadow figure to be precise, is waiting for them at the end. Oh, and there's one other odd discovery in the haunted tunnel that I forgot to mention. I don't even want to know what this mysterious device was used for. It looks like it goes around a wrist or on an ankle and doesn't come off. So as strange as this paranormal encounter was, it was only scary enough to teach Chris his lesson for a year or two. February 16th, 2020 is when Chris stayed in Japan's most haunted hotel, a place known only as the Ryaku Fuso Inn. This is where the spirit of a young boy has been roaming the wealthiest people in Japan for over 600 years. That's a long time to be a troublesome little ghost. And by now he's gotten pretty good at his job, so what Chris sees that night should come as no surprise. This is where the spirit of a young boy has been haunting the wealthiest people in Japan for over 600 years. That's a long time to be a troublesome little ghost, and by now he's gotten pretty good at his job, so what Chris sees that night should come as no surprise. He and his friend wait until after hours to visit the memorial, where the boy is said to frequent, a shrine built in his name to keep him from becoming evil and cursed. I think I see the outline of a boy looking at them in the blue window above as one of them kneels down at the altar, and they must have done something wrong because this happens.
It's a bit creepy, isn't it?
Not only does a child scream, but a face appears over his shoulder shortly afterwards. They go back to their hotel room afterwards and don't think much of it, but the next day, Chris's friend reports an encounter that really troubles him. It seems as if they could have been followed after all.
Like, I couldn't move my body, and I heard someone, like, kind of standing on my chest, and then and he or she, whoever, touched my cheek.
I'm not sure if this last part is a paranormal encounter or sleep paralysis, condition in which people are unable to move and often think they see a shadow figure moving towards them. YouTube team The New Reality Paranormal is investigating a haunted general store, and inside they hear and see some unexplained things. First, as they enter, footsteps are heard.
Said wave. It just said wave.
And right after, a voice.
Okay. Said rat.
Yeah? Now you're calling names or what? Resorting to calling people names? Was that a voice?
I swear that was a voice.
Is somebody in here? It seems like it to me, especially after seeing this white orb drift past just as Sean says he's feeling nauseous.
Like, I almost feel nauseous.
Whoa.
The back of my neck is...
No, dude, I am catching it on film right now.
I think there's a reason Sean is queasy. A spirit just traveled straight through him. When a YouTuber named Lil Goofy is exploring some trails with his friend, they decide to take a rest. That's when someone decides it's time to make them run. Somebody who's probably been following them for a while. The sun is settling, but there's still enough light to catch a potential lurker video on their helmet cam. At 1 minute and 8 seconds, they think the strange man waves hello, but he might be waving around something sharp instead. They debate what to do next, and then he makes the decision for them when he runs straight at them. They lose him fast and crouch down in the weeds to let the lunatic run past, and then they go back to their car. What's weird about this video, assuming that it's real, is that he's dressed like a normal person. You wouldn't think twice about passing the stranger on a trail until they are already following you. It's probably one of their friends, but we'll never know for sure, and that's what makes it creepy. There's a road in Quarten, Switzerland that defies all explanation according to some, and a lot of people have been nervously checking it out. Here's the deal. If you go to this stretch of mountainous highway on Google Maps, it looks pretty normal at first, but don't look up unless you want a scare. This is when the scenery goes from pleasant to mysterious. That's because peeking out from the sky is what appears to be a strange pink-red monument, or else some kind of giant being with its arm held out. You can click up and down any part of this road and still look up to find whatever this strange anomaly is gazing down from above. Some people say this sky sighting is a creature, but I have a much more rational and less exciting explanation. I'm pretty sure this is part of the pole on top of the car that the camera is attached to. Normally, this part of the car is edited out, but I guess some kind of glitch in their algorithm let a piece of it show. As a result, it looks like something suspended high above. That's my theory, at least. Let me know if you agree, or if you think this really was some kind of strange sighting in the sky. This Saudi Arabian YouTuber decided to do some urban exploring in 2018. The property looks long abandoned, and they are forced to explore only by flashlight. Despite the creepy feel of the place from the very start, the men brave it out and continue exploring. It starts to appear as though the men are being watched, and on multiple occasions they check their surroundings to make sure they are all alone. It turns out their instincts are correct, as they capture what they claim is a witch. It definitely appears to be someone dressed in all black robes, with their face fully covered. I believe someone might have actually been living on the property, and they wanted to scare them away. Or do you think the YouTuber was correct, and this was an actual witch? Think you're seeing things when driving in the darkness of night? Your imagination hasn't run wild. You're not just tired. Something is in the middle of the road. Published by Yogesh Baba in January of 2017, this driver was making his bumpy way down a dirt road at night, rounding corner after corner, when he came upon a sinister figure. The drive itself is spooky, with trees all around and what looks like a roadside tombstone at one point in the journey. As the driver continues, you can see a small pale figure in the middle of the road from a distance. The driver approaches, slowing down more and more. That's when the hooded figure rises, moving out of the way without showing its face. While most in the comments doubt that this is a ghost, they're still wondering why a man is squatting at night in the middle of the road. None of this is normal. There's nothing creepier than when your food moves on its own. Posted to TikTok by Jake M. Tapat, a woman is seen placing several small bowls out on a table for dinner. She notices one of the bowls twisting and sliding around on its own. She picks it up and wipes the bottom, thinking it might be that the bowl is wet. Placing it back, it still seems to twist for a moment. Is this just moisture at play? Or do we have a hungry ghost on our hands? Leaked aerial footage was taken in late 2006. A formation of Italian fighter jets returned to base after conducting some training exercises when one of them, the one shown here, notices a thick black cloud fast approaching and only has moments to react.
Come? Oh, sta passando Aeroplano in mezzo a noi.
He performs an emergency maneuver and barely avoids a commercial airliner full of civilian passengers at the last possible second. Thankfully, his training kicked in, because the much larger jetliner could not have changed its course. Look again and you'll see they come close enough to almost clip wings. If they had collided, no one would have survived. What would you do if you came across this chilling scene at night? Well, because there's a sign on the side of the road that reads "Free Cat." If it's there to lure unsuspecting people in, it's done its job. As these three stop their car to check out the makeshift animal shelter. As the trio approach the sign, they realize they're looking at something truly horrifying on a dark, deserted road at night. They conclude that whoever did this put the cats there because they're psycho. Couldn't agree more. Get out of there as fast as humanly possible. Some ghosts are so dramatic. YouTube team Project Fear shares this scare at the sanitarium. First, they hear a girl's voice.
Could have came from any single door at any single... That was a girl's high-pitched voice. Hello?
And then this happens.
What the? Holy! That door just shut! That door just shut! That door at the very end of the hall just shut!
He picks up the camera to go and check it out.
Shut! I hope I caught that on camera. No way. No way.
And it's leaving me in utter terror. Most of the passengers have on headsets and are watching a mid-flight movie, but one of them sees a reoccurring image and takes out their phone. This brief clip is the final instance of what they saw. Floating up from one of the seats is a formless mist that briefly swirls into the shape of a twisted face and disappears. All airlines are smoke-free nowadays, but I suppose that could be another possibility.